Good morning, everyone. Most welcome. Our program will be very brief. We are going to have an opening prayer. Then welcome remarks by the Secretary General of Uganda Episcopal Conference, who is also a co-chair for the Central Organizing Committee for Uganda Martyrs Day Preparations. We shall have an address by Archbishop Raphael P'mony Wokorach. Then we shall translate his address into Luganda. We shall invite questions from you, the journalists, and there will be a awarding of certificates to our sponsors. And there will be a vote of thanks by Honorable Catherine Akumu Mavenjina, who is also a co-chair of the Central Organizing Committee. After that, we shall have a closing prayer and a blessing by the Archbishop. So let me invite Monsignor John Baptist Kauta to lead us in the opening prayer.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Let us humble ourselves and pray. Almighty and eternal God, we are grateful for your grace, for your life, for everything you have given us. We are gathered here this morning to plan the celebration of your martyrs. And as we plan the celebration of your martyrs, we ask you to be here with us, to guide us, and to take care of all of us. We want to pray to them to show us the way to you. Let us say, dear our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. Amen. Holy Martyrs of Uganda, pray for us. All saints of God, pray for us. All our patron saints, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
We request all those who are able to sit, you can sit. I invite Monsignor John Baptist Kauta, the Secretary General of Uganda Episcopal Conference, to give us his welcome remarks. Monsignor, you're welcome.
Your Grace, and Mama, who has been on top of all these things, my brothers and my sisters, I wish to welcome you in a very special way. For today, we have a huge number of journalists and also I've been told that if I sit down, they will be able to get my legs as well. Okay. I just want to welcome you in a very special way for this press conference. This press conference is the last now. Action is being called for from now onward. Namgongo is already overflowing. And today we are also overflowing with the journalists. I want to have the pleasure and the honor of introducing the ordinary of Nebbi, who at the time he assumed the responsibility of organizing the Uganda Martyrs Day on behalf of the conference, was then a bishop of Nebbi. Now he has been elected the Archbishop of Gulu. He should be in Gulu shortly, but he can't go until he accomplishes his task. And his task is a task of ensuring that the preparations for Namgongo are seen through and are successful. So, Your Grace, I don't want to lick the cat out of the bag. I want to leave everything to you and warmly welcome you and all those who are here. I want to thank those who have been helping in any way, especially those who have been meeting in this tent whenever we had a meeting here, and for those who met in Namgongo. This is my opportunity to say thank you so much. Archbishop, you are most warmly welcome. You talk to your people, and the conference has confidence in you and your diocese.
Thank you, Monsignor John Baptist Kawota, Secretary General of the Episcopal Conference. Thank you, Honorable Movengina, Chair of the Preparation to Namgongo, Nebbi Catholic Diocese, and your team, especially Mr. Maurice Manano, who has been collecting the funds. You may have questions to him later. And all the teams that has come from the Secretariat of Episcopal Conference. I welcome all of you with great joy and confidence, and as it was mentioned, this is the final conference that we are holding with the journalists. We have been having so many of these piecemeal. Everybody wanted to have that moment alone, and we try to give them. I hope this will also bring you together as a journalist family. What I would like to say in this moment is, first of all, the background. It is about 1 year that we have been preparing the celebration of Namugongo, June 3rd, 2024. As a diocese, when the Episcopal Conference mandated Nebbi Catholic Diocese, immediately we took it upon ourselves to start the journey of preparation. So what we are talking about is an experience of 1 year that covers different aspects of our life as a people and as a diocese. We are very grateful for the Episcopal Conference for giving us this mandate. And we are actually coming in the name of the conference. The conference is the honor of this celebration. We are just sent. And we received the call with great joy and confidence. In fact, when the news came from the conference and I took it home, Nebbi Catholic Diocese received it with great joy, very joyously. And immediately that gave me also the confidence to start preparing it. So it is really a great honor for us as people of Nebbi Catholic Diocese to animate this year's Namugongo. As we all know, the great day, the D-Day, as we always say, is at hand. Namugongo itself is already aflamed with the joy of celebration of the Martyrs Day. The works of life are continuing. The pilgrims from the different sectors are celebrating moments now and then with masses, confessions, and many other activities and devotions going on. So it is aflamed. So some of the major events that we could say helped us to move up to this time very much awake and alive in all the process is the choice of the theme. When we were mandated, we thought that we needed to focus. We needed to focus and put ourselves around an idea, around a vision, and what kind of spirit we want to draw from this preparation. And what we chose as theme stands, and I quote, "As for me and my household, we shall serve the Lord." And that comes from the book of prophet Joshua, chapter 24, verse 15. As for me and my household, we shall serve the Lord. And this is the theme that has been guiding us in all preparations possible, spiritual, morally, and even materially. We wanted people to get the gist of our desire and all this. Guided by that, there were also special prayers that we prepared and distributed to all Christians. Small Christian communities and all parishes received it. It was our mandate to ask them to see it as often as possible. And during the celebrations, to conclude our prayers with this same prayer, which has been designed. And that way, it helped us to work together as a diocese, to have a common spirit and common disposition. We requested moments of adoration and also rosary from all different communities. So that is, for us, the core, I can call it business, that we assumed during this moment of preparation. All the other things that come turn around it. The collections of money, the contacts of people. We wanted this to be at the center, the spiritual energy to be there. So much so that even the central organizing committee that was created, we planned and also inaugurated it. All this came with the mind that they're coming to do a service with the same idea that we are serving the Lord in the spirit of Joshua. And the spirit of Joshua for us stands as the true virtue that governed the Uganda Martyrs themselves. And all this has come as a request, and all committees that were set took it as something they should continue with to animate whatever organizations they were supposed to undertake. So under the leadership of Honorable Catherine Nakumu, all these plans were moved forward and energetically. Indeed, I must even anticipate my great thanks to her, because she lives like she has 34 hours a day. She's always alive on her feet, moving and trying to connect us. So much so that all the committees were under her guidance, and she really did it well. And all the subcommittees, they did it well. The reality of Nebbi Catholic Diocese is a little, I would say, challenging in the sense that we have communities, we call them communities in diaspora, in Kampala and Tebe, Jinja, and all these things. We have families who originally come from Nebbi and at this side for various reasons of work or choice to be here, and they're part of us. And then we have communities, for sure, way back home, and we wanted to work together as a family. And the group that came from Nebbi itself, we put ourselves under the respective parishes where we belong to. And from there, the different organizations were set. And that has also challenged us to create subcommittees on both sides. Committees in Nebbi, committees in Kampala, and so forth. We tried our best to make sure that they work without creating many centers of authority, and that has worked till now. I'm very grateful that people understood the spirit. We know that every organization, however spiritual you will be or you may be, you need also the material. And the material is governed by the need of money. And there with that, we came also with the budget. Our yearly budget for the organization was 1.3 billion. But then there were some other subsequent requests to fix certain things at the shrine of Namugongo. And that we thought if the money came all, it would go up to 1.8 billion. But nevertheless, we have all those set ahead of us, and we created that account which we shared with all partners and all people of goodwill to see that this can also involve all people. And we also feel like we are a family of God moving together. The basic bank account is Centenary Bank, and I think it has been posted. Most of you might have gotten it. If not, that can always be presented to you. So all these are like the groundwork that we did to make sure that the preparation goes on smoothly. And indeed, I can say with confidence that till now, the preparations and the implementations of whatever we desired have moved very smoothly. We thank God for that, and we thank everybody that collaborated with us. We thank the Secretariat that has been close to us to guide us to see how things can be done. They have greater experience than us as Nebbi. The last time Nebbi celebrated was in 2007. Then things were simpler. Today, they're more complicated. And their guidance has been very helpful, or if not, we can say very fruitful, to make sure that we narrow down the gaps that were perceived. So the preparation through the help of the Secretariat has been useful. We didn't work alone as within the church circle. There were partners from around the country that were very, very open to move with us, to open doors to us. There were ministries that were directly involved, we can say, like Ministry of Tourism, to help us see the different aspect. You see, Namugongo is a celebration which is national, which is also international. Namugongo is a celebration which is religious and also secular. So the Ministry of Tourism looks at the day of Namugongo as a religious tourism. And so they have interest, and indeed they came out powerfully to support even our budget. We went to the Parliament and we had a celebration of the Eucharist, and indeed was a very special day. We went to the Parliament itself. It was Ash Wednesday of this year, and we were welcomed warmly, and there also we got the support. We got support from other bodies like Amuda. This is Association of Lay People who come from Barara, and we had a fun day with them. Games, we played games and sports on a Saturday, and then Sunday we concluded with the Holy Eucharist. But one thing about the game day was that football, which is a common game we know, volleyball, there were also table tennis and golf, and then most interestingly, we had the tug of war pulling strings between the women from Nebbi who are in Kampala and the women from Barara who are in Kampala. So they pull string. There, the women of Nebbi pulled them completely. And I told them, you know, this is the power of Kalo. It was Kalo versus Matoke. So we had that fun day. But it is beautiful. It created that fraternity that we all longed for. And to me, it was gracious time. The whole time of preparation was gracious, exposed me and created an open door for me to contact people in different places. I will never imagine that one day I will go to Ura, those who collect our money, taxes. And I went to the headquarters and we had mass with them, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful spiritual moment. And of course, tax collectors never lack money. they also gave us good boost. We thank them all for that. Of course, other organizations, I will not mention all, but they are like even the Centenary Bank and all others. So you realize that this was a journey that involved many partners. It was a journey of the nation. It was a journey of the whole church in Uganda. Dioceses, organizations, and all this came together. They have a sense of who the Uganda Martyrs are. And we are very grateful that with that, we are pushed at least to a higher level to raise money to meet the budget that we set. Way back home, we put some requirements for all parishes to bring in something which we appreciated. Little as they contributed became big, and that has helped us to meet our budget, our implementation process is till now. So we are very grateful to all these preparations. And we cannot forget about how we are preparing to communicate officially. There is a magazine that will come out. It is designed by Gotcom Limited, and that should be out, and I believe you'll have them. And we shall appreciate if you can also buy, and that will also again help to always our life to move forward. So all the partners were with us to help us raise the money to meet the requirements of the budget. And of course, with all these collections, we couldn't reach the mark of the budget, what we aimed at 1.3 billion. We couldn't reach all that, but government has also come in, and that is where also now we say thank you to His Excellency the President, and for giving us the boost, for giving us the support. All in all, we are set. All in all, we feel that Namugongo, prepared by Nebbi, is moving forward with normal challenges which cannot deter us from moving and implementing it well. The atmosphere of prayer has been the power by which we moved. And I'm happy that all these are moving on well. And I'm very grateful to all the committee heads that have tried their best to make sure that their departments do not fail. These organizations of the committees is not for themselves, is to serve all the people who honor, who love to see that the celebration of the Uganda Martyrs give the true honor to the Uganda Martyrs. These are true Ugandans. These are the true best souls of the Ugandans, the Uganda Martyrs, because they lived with God and they gave back to God. It's something we can all learn. We can all learn. Learning to give for God, and we also live for God. And they gave not only what they had, they gave their lives. And I believe that is what attracts people to them. The beauty of life is reflected to them in their lives. And the few challenges that we have, I believe, will not make us stop implementing it and make the celebration of the Uganda Martyrs really be good. Be good. We are now on the ground. Most of us are are present and available for various activities which are taking place within the shrine itself. And I've been meeting people and praying with them, and we continue praying with them. I will conclude by also reminding ourselves that, Namugongo celebration should be protected from all invasions of ideas and how to look at it. It is true, when we come as a nation. But when we come to celebrate Namugongo, we are also celebrating the spiritual life of these martyrs. And that's what I say we should protect. They should not be lost in our sight. If we don't look at the Uganda Martyrs as holy men, holy people who lived because of God, then we have lost it all. My appeal to all Ugandans is that these are people who have shown us the way and how even to honor God and live for God. And when each one of us does that, I think Uganda changes, the world changes. And this is where we are. And this is why I take very seriously the theme that we have chosen. As for me and my household, we shall serve the Lord. May we desire all to search and serve the Lord. If we don't serve the Lord, then whom or what are we serving? And where will that lead us? What profit is it for you and your family if we don't serve the Lord? The Uganda Martyrs' message and life is fundamental. It's something that should sustain all the values that we believe in. And their message of life should be a teaching that we should impart to our people, to our institutions. We should impart our people with that ideal of life, and there's no better ideal that you can work for in order to make our families better, in order to make our society better. These are Uganda Martyrs, the best souls of Ugandans. May they remain as model for us. Much as we talk of role models, we look at them as the true role models, and all of us are like their followers. So with this, I conclude, and I leave it now up to the next stage of our program. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Your Grace. At this point, let me invite Father John Baptist Kaganda to summarize Archbishop's address in Luganda. Father John Baptist Kaganda is the Executive Secretary of Pastoral and Liturgy Department of Uganda Episcopal Conference. Father Kaganda, you're welcome.
Essaza eritukulembeddemu mu kuteekateeka emikolo egy'ennamugongo ly'essaza ly'e Nebbi. Essaza lino ery'e Nebbi kaakati nga lirabirirwa omusumba Wokorach, Ssaabasumba omulonde ow'essaza ekkulu ery'e Gulu. Mubaka bw'atutuusizzaako, Ssaabasumba ayanirizza bonna ate era n'asiima n'obukiiko bwonna obuteesiteesi, ng'obukiiko buno bukulemberwa Honorable Catherine Okum. Olugendo lw'okuteekateeka lubadde luwanvu, kumpi mwaka mulamba okuva essaza lino lwe lyategeezebwa nti lyerina okukulembera enteekateeka zino. Naye omulimu guno bagukoledde wamu, era omulimu guno bagwaniriza n'essanyu, era omulimu guno bagukola mu linnya lya Ekereziya owa Uganda Episcopal Conference. Ssaabasumba atuyitidde mu bikulu bye bayiseemu. Ekisooka nga bamaze okukwasibwa obuvunaanyizibwa obw'okukulembera enteekateeka zino ez'ennamugongo, baavaayo n'omulamwa. Omulamwa nga gugamba nti ku lwange n'ab'enju yange tujja kuweereza Mukama. Omulamwa guno guvudde mu Yoshua omutwe ogwa 24:15. Bassaawo essaala, anti enteeka zonna zikulembeddwamu kigambo ssaala. Awo nno balina essaala gye bassaawo, era ebadde esomebwa yonna mu ssaza nga tusabira enteekateeka zino ez'ennamugongo. Batambulidde wamu ng'essaza, era wabaddewo n'okusinza essakramentu, anti mu nteekateeka zino ng'essaza ekinyusi bakitadde ku bulamu obw'omwoyo. Ebirala byonna awo kwe bibadde byetooloolera. bassaawo obukiiko nga bwe yakikonyeeko waggulu. Obukiiko buno nga bukulemberwa Honorable Catherine Akum. Bakoledde wamu n'abo abali wabweru bw'essaza. Si kugamba nti ba mu ssaza lyokka, naye n'abo abali wabweru bw'essaza beegattidde wamu enteekateeka zino okuzitambuza ebya ssente. Baakola bajeti nga yakawumbi kamu mu emitwalo mu miliyoni 3. Naye ate bw'oyongerako n'okuddaabiriza eby'ennamugongo ebyetaagisa, ssente ezo ne zeeyongeramu ne zituuka kawumbi kamu mu emitwalo 8 mu obukadde 8. Era akawunti kwe bateeka ssente eri mu Centenary Bank, omuwanika akawunti eyo ajja gituwa. Ebyokuteekateeka bibadde bulungi, Omusaabasumba bw'atutegeezezza, era yeebazizza bonna abeenyigidde mu nteekateeka zino. Asiimye mu bwawufu Uganda Catholic Secretariat olw'obulambisi bwonna mu mulimo guno ogw'okuteekateeka. Ssaabasumba atujjukizza nti ng'essaza ery'e Nebbi baasemba okukulembera emikolo gino egy'ennamugongo mu mwaka 2007. Ssaabasumba asiimye nnyo ebitongole bya gavumenti ebikwasizzaako essaza ly'e Nebbi mu nteekateeka zino. Mu bwawufu asiimye ekitongole kya gavumenti eky'ebyobulambuzi, bakoze omulimu munene. Asiimye nnyo Paalamenti ya Uganda olw'obuyambi bwonna bwe baawaayo. Asiimye essaza ly'Embalala, baakola nnyo era baayamba nnyo mu nteekateeka zino. Era n'asiima n'ekitongole kya gavumenti ekisolooza omusolo, nakyo kyadduukirira nnyo. Olugendo luno Ssaabasumba atutegeezezza lubadde lwa ggwanga lyonna, enteekateeka zino za ggwanga lyonna, ate era z'ekereziya yonna, buli omu azeenyigiddemu. Mu ssaza ly'e Nebbi, Ssaabasumba atutegeezezza nti buli Mukristu yeenyigiramu nga bw'asobola okubaako kyawaayo mu nteekateeka ez'emikolo gino. Ssaabasumba akoonyeeko katono ku katabo ak'omukolo akategekeddwa, n'atulaga nti akatabo ako kali mu bingi, era n'atukubiriza okwefunira akatabo ako kubanga mulimu ebyokuyiga bingi, naddala ebyo ebikwata ku ssaza ly'e Nebbi. Ssaabasumba asiimye nnyo obuyambi bwonna gavumenti yaffe bwewaddeyo mu kuteekateeka emikolo gino. Era Ssaabasumba atutegeezezza nti okusoomoozebwa weewaawo kubaddewo, naye n'atulaga nti awali amaanyi g'essaala byonna bisoboka. Bw'atyo Ssaabasumba akomekkereza ng'ateeka mu maaso gaffe abajulizi ba Uganda beeyongera okutubeerera ekyokulabirako. Era Ssaabasumba n'ayongera okukkaatiriza nti enteekateeka zonna ez'ennamugongo zisigale ku mulamwa ogw'ebyomwoyo, waleme kubeerawo birala ebituugula okutujja ku mulamwa ogw'ebyomwoyo. Bw'atyo Ssaabasumba n'amaliriza ng'agamba ng'atujjukiza omulamwa guli, nze n'ab'omu nju yange tujja kuweereza Mukama. Era bw'atyo n'atukubiriza ffenna mu ggwanga okulaba nga twewaayo okuweereza Mukama. Obwo bwe bubaka obwa Ssaabasumba.
Yeah, thank you so much, Father John Baptist Kaganda. We are now going to take some questions from you, the media. But before that, allow me just to introduce a few people so that when you are addressing your question, you know the right person to address. The one who addressed this press conference is His Grace Raphael P'mony Wokorach, the Archbishop-elect of Gulu Archdiocese and also the Apostolic Administrator of Nebbi Catholic Diocese. So he's the one who addressed the press conference. On his right, on Archbishop's right, is Monsignor John Baptist Kauta, the Secretary General of Uganda Episcopal Conference. He's also the co-chair of the Central Organizing Committee for Uganda Martyrs Preparations. And on the Archbishop's left is Honorable Catherine Akumu Mavenjina. She's also the co-chair for the organizing committee, Central Organizing Committee for Uganda Martyrs celebrations this year. And on the far right, next to Honorable Mavenjina, is Mr. Manano Morris Opar. Is the head of the finance committee for Uganda Martyrs celebration this year. So issues of finances is the right person to answer. And on the other side, the other end, the one who translated is Father John Baptist Kaganda. He's the Executive Secretary of Pastoral Liturgy Department of Uganda Episcopal Conference. We also have on this other side, Father Joseph Luger is the chairman of publicity for Uganda Martyrs celebrations this year. Issues of media and anything to do with publicity and information, Father is the head. So Father, you could stand up for recognition. So media people, that's your man. And then next to him is Mr. Alex Atohaire. He's the one who is coordinating the media for these celebrations, the Uganda Martyrs celebrations. And the one speaking is Father Philip Odi. I'm the one handling accreditation of the media for these celebrations. And I'm the Executive Secretary for Social Communications, Uganda Episcopal Conference. So at this point, we now invite questions. We shall take 3 questions at a time. You mention your name and the media house you are working for. We start from the other side. Yes, your names, and then
thank you, Your Grace. I'm Joko Collins from ABC. Briefly, 2 questions. During your communication, you said that ever since Nebbi Diocese marked Martyrs Day 2007, and now this is the second time. So from 2007 up to now, what are some of the challenges and the new changes which you have faced? Then secondly, the allegation is that Gulu Archdiocese, the ecclesiastical province of Gulu is too big geographically, covering West Nile, Acholi, Lida. So I wonder whether this Episcopal Conference have considerations maybe of recommending to the Pope to redemarcate it into another ecclesiastical province. Thank you.
yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Juko. The second question is from this side.
Yes, thank you, Your Grace. Lam Anthony from Uganda Catholic Television. Your Grace, my question is, how can young people today find and cultivate a deeper connection with their faith amidst the distractions and challenges of modern life? Thank you.
The third question.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Rueza Ibrahim from the New Vision. I have 2 questions. We all know the history of how the Martyrs came into existence. But for all those years, we have seen the people who brought this cause are not celebrated, are not given any credit. I mean the Mukajangas and the king by then, Kabaka Mwanga. So is the church thinking of celebrating and rewarding maybe their families? Second, you talked of Namugongo should be protected. my worry is, how should it be? Is it under the threats of land grabbers or things of that kind? Thank you.
Let us answer those questions before we proceed to another set of questions. I think most of the questions are directed to Archbishop. So, Your Grace, you're welcome.
Thank you for your I don't know whether they're provocations, questions, whatever they are. From UBC, yes, Nebbi celebrated Uganda Martyrs the first time in 2007, and that is how many years ago? You can do the mathematics. And we are celebrating now the second one this time. And of course, that time I wasn't within, not even in the country. But from that time till now, many things have changed, certainly. Even modality, we can start from Namugongo itself. Namugongo itself, the number of people that come for the celebration has grown enormously big. At that time, I don't think they were reaching million or something of the kind. It was enormously big, and that already creates a big difference. 2007, Nebbi itself was still a very young diocese. In 2007, Nebbi was about 10 years old as a diocese. This time we are celebrating 28 years. So being young, and also at the beginning, parishes were fewer, number of Christians were fewer. I think that makes a big change in our life as we see today and compare with how things are today. And the overall is that in the celebration of Namugongo, we are moving from being simply a national celebration to very international. The number of people who come from outside the country is growing by the day. Our neighboring countries like Congo, there's a big contingent of people coming every time, and this time those who are flocking from the side of West Nile, there are also very many. They were talking of about 15 buses coming. So I don't know how many will come from Kasese side and so forth. So all these are the changes that come, and as the number of people grows, the preparation becomes also more complex. And that, I think, is the biggest challenge. The budget and everything becomes complicated because the demands are different. Issues of security, issues of taking care of food and so forth. All these things, I think these are some of the challenges I see immediately as you talk about this. Then you said that the ecclesiastical province of Gulu is too big, that we should divide it to create another province. First of all, the church does not work like that. In Uganda, we have 4 ecclesiastical provinces. We have 4 ecclesiastical provinces. We can talk first of Gulu, and in this diocese, this province, we have Gulu Diocese, we have Arua Diocese, we have Nebbi Diocese, and we have Lira. And then we have Tororo Ecclesiastical Province, Tororo Ecclesiastical Province. We have Kotido, Moroto, Tororo, and Soroti, and Jinja. Those are 5 dioceses that compose Ecclesiastical Province of Tororo. Then we have Kampala, which comprises of Kampala itself, Lugazi, Luwero, Masaka, and Kiinda Metiana. So there are also 5 dioceses in every this one. Then we have the one of Mbarara. Mbarara Ecclesiastical Province. We have Kabale, Mbarara. We have Hoima, Kasese, and Fort Portal. in all these ecclesiastical provinces, we have 5 dioceses. We can say they're all equally big. They're all equally big in terms of numbers of dioceses. I don't see the correlation that it should be divided because it looks big. Yes, the size is almost like the others as well. It is not time to think about it, I believe. It's not time to think about it of dividing. If ever, that should touch all the provinces, all the ecclesiastical provinces. But so far, I've not had any complaint from the bishops that the ecclesiastical provinces are too big. Maybe if it is coming from the Christians, that will come forth later. So we are there. From UCTV, young people need to find themselves and deepen their faith. And how? Did you say the Namugongo Uganda Martyrs can help them? In other words, how the Uganda Martyrs influence the youth. There are many ways we can look at it. First of all, the Uganda Martyrs were all lay people. They were all lay people. And most of them were below 20 years old, so they were young. And if we extend even the age we call youthfulness as we have it today, because some people up to 40 years, they consider themselves youth, then we can say all of them are young. They can even look at them as examples. The context within which we find ourselves today is that the difficulty of taking decision, discernment to decide, and decide in a way that you will get focused and stable in what you decide on. Even life of faith. You decide to be in a church, stay in that church, I believe. The Uganda Martyrs were stable in that, and that is the mark which I will say the young people should look at. How do you decide to be a good Christian? So that you deepen your faith. You will not deepen your faith when you move from one church to another. When you move from one church to another, that will be a big, big challenge. But they decided to come and stay in one faith and they deepen it. That will be my appeal to them. And if they can read the histories of the Uganda Martyrs, I think they'll get a lot of inspiration. And young people can get to us and appreciate it even more because these are young people. The third group that came was saying, Mukajanga and Kabaka Mwanga, they are not considered, they are not rewarded, they are not celebrated. Are we going to reward them? As a church, we can pray for them. We can pray for them that they may be recognized and God may have mercy on them. But Mukajanga, as we know, Mukajanga Mukasa was the chief executioner, and he did it with passion to destroy the lives of others. Although he was following command of the Kabaka or whatever, he was himself also brutally, maybe you can say, by habit. And in the Catholic Church, we don't reward those who do wrong openly and stay in it. If you convert, if you change, they can be recommended. But we don't have that sign yet. That sign has not been communicated to us. That maybe after persecuting and killing, they converted, they confessed, and now they're together with people. The church looks at that, conversion towards goodness. And they have a chance, maybe they did that, so we shall wait to do that. Namugongo be protected, and how? From land grabbers or no? I meant by protection, the values that they present to us, that is what should be protected. Because we risk to have Namugongo become anything else other than a spiritual center. Anything else other than having a strong spiritual celebration. In our preparation, you feel the pressure from all grounds. Politicians come to help us, but you know, I must appear there, which is okay, but that is an aspect of pressure. Business groups, they come and help. And I remember when the food pilgrims were coming from Nebbi, so many came on the way to help them with food, water, and so forth, which is quite good. Yeah. But my concern is they should not draw our attention away from what we are meant to be. We are moving as pilgrims. And pilgrimage is not a journey for fun. It's a religious journey. A religious journey that we need to focus on and profit from that, to get the religious and spiritual benefits of the journey. And this is what I meant by saying, let the pressure of the world not invade and overwhelm what Namugongo is initially for us as a church. And we need to protect that. That's what I meant. So I believe these were some of the questions that were presented. I hope I answered them adequately. If not, you can deepen.
Thank you so much, Your Grace. Before we take another set of questions, allow me to recognize and welcome the Executive Director of Uganda Tourism Board, Madam Lilian Ajarova. Most welcome. Yeah, thank you. So because of time, we may not be able to take many questions. So we shall allow only 3 more media houses to ask very crucial questions. So if you really have a very crucial question that has not been answered, we are taking strictly 3 media houses because we have a few other things that we plan to do in this press conference.
Thank you so much. I think mine is crucial. My name is Julius Bakawage. I work with NBS TV. My Lord Bishop, you talked about the budget. I think it's very, very important. You got government supporting you and the other entities, but should we assume you hit the target? If not, what's the deficit? How much more do you need to have your budget the way you planned for it? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. My name is Annette. I work with UBC. My question goes to the Secretary General, Reverend Father Kaganda. At what stage are the preparations? What should we expect in this year's celebrations as compared to the previous one?
I think, to be fair, we need another media house. One, okay. I think all your questions are answered. All right, then we give to...
Yes, thank you. My question is for the CEO of Uganda Tourism Board. We have Uganda Martyrs Shrine, and also for Paimol, the Blessed Daudi Okello and Gildo. Is UTB preparing to also market Paimol's Martyrs Shrine on 20th October for the Blessed Daudi Okello and Gildo?
So let's have those questions answered.
Yes, some of them should go directly to respective people. In fact, most of them are not for me. About the budget, yes, we got from government's subsidies substantially, and we thank, I mentioned already, His Excellency the President for considering us seriously. And with the collections, I think substantially we got some help from corporate bodies and partners and all that. Details, I think I will refer you to our bazaar, the person in charge of the finances. And the others, I think, will be directed also accordingly to the Secretary General and then the to the Director of Tourism after.
Thank you. On the budget, like the Bishop has already communicated, we had an initial budget of eventually 1.8 billion. And thereafter, we realized the shrine ceiling, the roofing, is dilapidated and needed to be worked on. Thereafter, our attention was also drawn that the bathrooms, especially for the ladies, needed to be done. So our engineer in charge of construction and sanitation presented another budget of 570 million. Now, if we got the 570 million, we are committed to work on these missing points. Now, out of the 1.8 billion, we went into aggressive funds collection. The economy has been bad, as we all know. We have knocked at so many doors. I've been telling people that we made one ream of headed paper. One ream of headed papers has about 500 papers. We sent all these out to contributors, to entities, to organizations, but hardly 40 entities came back, meaning about 400 papers are lying there. People received and put them aside. But all the same, from the entities whom we are going to recognize today, we managed to receive up to 360 million. 360 million from these entities. One of the biggest contributor is in the house. I will not talk for them, UTB, because they took a very huge chunk of that money. We also said charity begins from home. All the parishes in Nebbi Catholic Diocese, we have 22 parishes, and we put money on each parish, some to contribute 15 million each, some 10 million, some 13 million. The total came to 270 million. However, this group raised up to 255 million. These the Catholic parishes within Nebbi, meaning the communities of Nebbi, down from the grassroots, down to the chapels, down from the households. We raised 255 million. Then we also approached individuals who would give 200,000, 100,000. Your Lordship, we had people are giving as low as 100 shillings. On the Momo, we opened the Momo account, 190139 with the MTN, and once in a while you see someone sending 100 shillings, 500 shillings. Now, this accumulated to 55 million. And we are so appreciative with all this support. Now, government of Uganda gave the biggest contribution. Without them, we wouldn't have moved far. Your Lordship, last evening, we received the government's contribution, 1.1 billion. Now, if you added up this, it takes us to, our collection stands at 1.7 billion against the 1.8 billion. That means our deficit is only 100 million, which is negligible. With this collection, we financially, we hope to have the best. However, Your Lordship, what we found out, this budget of 1.8 million was done in June last year. Between June last year and today, prices have increased. Cost of living has gone high. Committees have brought budgets which are 3 times what they had put in June. So for that matter, we have really struggled to ensure that this money can still fit in the budget. Otherwise, the changes between both in prices and the ideas the committees were generating were almost tripling our budget, which money anyway we didn't have, but we are trying our best to work within the budget, despite the budget doubling or tripling for some committees. Thank you.
So NBS remain with the question, how much more? Was that with the intention of filling the gap? We wait for you.
Okay. Your Grace, my brothers and sisters, you have given me a very difficult question. You are asking me, how is this year's celebration different from last year, etc., etc.? I think the answer is this. Every year, the challenges remain the same. The needed things are some money, and the money depends on the stability of the Uganda shilling. Some dioceses have less, perhaps needs, others have more needs. Other dioceses get the money more easily, others don't get it that easily. The biggest challenge is Namgongo, the devotion to the martyrs has grown. When it started, it was very simple. It used to be people of Kampala Archdiocese, in those days Kampala Diocese, I should say, who were housed in this place here. This used to be in Zambia or Kampala Diocese, run by Mill Hill Fathers, and Namgongo was their place. Then when the bishops came together and they said, let us organize this thing centrally, then in those days, it still remained more in Kampala, the local universities and the various organizations, as well as the lay apostolate department. It was still manageable and the numbers were small. But the numbers have grown upward. The thing has become international. And with the coming of the Pope to Uganda, Pope Francis, that even made it more, shall I call it, international. So the challenges we are facing, and which are always affecting us, are economy and the growth of the numbers. The place is too small. You cannot expect, as today's paper was saying, 3 million pilgrims. Can you imagine 3 million pilgrims in that little space, and all to be controlled? We are not ready for it because the bathrooms are not many enough. We are not ready for it because there are many, many other challenges. The shelters, or the sitting places that have been erected, are not sufficient and not expandable enough. It is a pity for our people. Some of them come very early as the 25th of May, and they stay there until the 4th of June. There is no hotel accommodation. Even if we had it, how many of our people could afford a hotel? It is here that tourism has been working with the conference, trying to say, let us do better to make this place accessible and available to the people. Our bishops had proposed the following solution: that maybe we stagger the celebrations. Firstly, those dioceses that have martyrs in them invite people to celebrate June the 3rd in their dioceses where there are martyrs. Or we have Martyrs Day, but say do the following: a special day for the youths, another day for the women, another day for the men, another time for the children. The children are many, they can't come alone. You will need their mother and father. These propositions of the bishops have not been taken. Everybody wants to be in Namgongo on June 3rd. That's what people like. What are we going to do? It is a question that we need to study very carefully. we as Ugandans have to agree that if I celebrate June 3rd in Jinja, where Matia Mulumba came from, I will also have fulfilled my obligation. But people say the place is what matters. How do we convince people that the place matters? Yes, but you can get God's grace everywhere. As St. Stephen says, you don't have to restrict God to the temple in Jerusalem, for God is everywhere. But you bring that out, how do you succeed? How many of you are not going to go to Namgongo and say, I have already been in a press conference, that's good enough? No, you want to be there. Finally, what I think is a really challenge is this. We need to remain focused on Namgongo as a spiritual entity. The Ugandan bishops have proposed that it would be enough for any diocese to focus its celebration on the liturgy, maybe retreats, prayer meetings, etc., etc. But we know we need money. Maybe not so much, too much money, but who knows what is enough? That's another problem. Every diocese comes, they have challenges, and they know what they can do, the growth of economy and so forth, the challenges, they drive them to, shall I say, to overemphasize one thing or another. But it's tough. Now, my brothers and sisters, I think we as Ugandans have to go to the drawing table and agree at some day, some point. Let us see what should be done. Maybe celebrate it regionally, or people from the region come, or whatever it is. It is a question open to you to make suggestions. Thank you very much. Hopefully I've answered your question. If not, forgive me.
So the last question will be answered by the Executive Director of Uganda Tourism Board. After she has answered the question, she'll also give her remarks.
His Grace, the Archbishop-elect of Gulu Diocese and the Apostolic Administrator of Nebbi Catholic Diocese, the Honorable Minister, all distinguished guests, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, Lilia Jarova is my name, the Chief Executive Officer of Uganda Tourism Board. It's with great pleasure that I'm here to join everyone as we prepare for the celebration of Uganda Martyrs, and the specific date being the 3rd of June 2024 this year, as we annually celebrate this. From Uganda Tourism Board, I will answer the question after, if you may allow me. First, to thank you, His Grace the Archbishop-elect, for taking on the leadership for this year's celebration. As Uganda Tourism Board, the Church has always been one of our key partners, not only in the celebration of Uganda Martyrs, but we partner with the Church in different other aspects as well. But very specific to Uganda Martyrs, we are always very involved to make sure that the Uganda Martyrs celebration on the 3rd of June is a success, because it positions Uganda as a faith destination, where it's a destination where people can visit and achieve spiritual growth, among other personal needs that they might believe in and achieve as they visit Uganda, and specifically the Martyrs Shrine in Namugongo. We have had lots of testimonies of how people get healed and achieve different things in their lives because of coming over to Namugongo. We, this year, as Uganda Tourism Board, will continue with our partnership with the church, and very specifically the Catholic Church, but also the Anglican Church. And I'm here representing the board of Uganda Tourism Board, the board of directors, the management and the staff. And I would want to, first of all, say that faith-based tourism is one of the products that we promote and market as Uganda Tourism Board. We encourage Ugandans from different parts of the country to travel for spiritual, faith, reason, but also internationals for the same reason. Faith-based tourism or spiritual tourism, religious tourism, we refer to them in those different languages, is when people travel from one place to another for personal or spiritual reasons. And there are two subsets to spiritual or faith-based tourism. One is people traveling for that spiritual purpose, which is mostly pilgrimage. We have seen people from Nebbi trekking all the way from Nebbi up to Namugongo, people coming from Kisoro trekking all the way up to Namugongo. That is pilgrimage. Yeah, it's more for the spiritual purpose. But also there is the other subsect of where people travel to see the artifacts. And Namugongo has architectural designs that is very unique. And others will travel just to come and see the architecture of the building there and the different artifacts that are in the place. So that's another reason. Not everyone will travel for faith-based tourism for the purpose of the spiritual aspect, but also for the artifacts. It's also important for us to appreciate from the tourism point of view that there is a huge market value of up to $26 billion equivalent for faith-based tourism. So if we want to position Uganda as a faith-based destination, there is that amount of the market value that we can actually tap into. And as Uganda Tourism Board, we are doing our part to popularize and get Uganda known as this destination that will provide the spiritual fulfillment, but also for them to be able to see other things that this country has to offer. Our contribution to the Catholic Church this year for the Uganda Martyrs celebration, I have the letter with me, is a cash contribution of 100 million shillings. But this morning, we also had a meeting with the staff. There will be a team of us who will be available tomorrow for the faith walk. And we do have a rig van, which we will deploy both in Namugongo, but also for tomorrow for the faith walk, to be able to visually showcase, some of the videos that tells the story of the Uganda Martyrs, and also showcase some of the other attractions that the country has to offer as far as tourism is concerned. So that is our contribution. So allow me hand over the letter.
Thank you so much, Uganda Tourism Board, for that support.
And maybe just to finish with answering the question that was asked, I think I will answer it generally. You know, as Uganda Tourism Board, one of our main mandates is to promote and market Uganda as the premium preferred tourism destination. And we don't do this alone. We can't do it alone. We have to work with everyone. Like now we are working with the church, but also all Ugandans. You are ambassadors for this country, so we need to work together. And to promote a particular product, a particular destination within the country, we need to work with you. So if there's a particular site that we need to promote, we need the partnership of the local people in the area to work together, but it cannot just be left to us alone. So if we have the partnership of the local people, where the site is, whatever the product is, we can come in to give technical support. And if we have the information, then we can be able to share this. We have our key means of promotion right now. We all know it's quite easy globally. It reaches, you know, everybody in an instant. The digital platforms, it's one of the means that we are using to market and promote whatever we have. And I think if we have the information, we can be able to promote the particular site and product that you're asking about. We also use influencers a lot these days, those who have the influence over the public. And right now we are also using some of them to encourage, you know, people to visit Namugongo, to be part of the celebration, which is going to be happening on the 3rd of June. Not only, the influencers are not only from Uganda, but also regionally in Africa. We have some influencers we have engaged from Nigeria, and they are also right now doing their work to try and raise awareness about Uganda Martyrs celebration on the 3rd of June. So we expect some internationals, especially within Africa, a bigger population coming in, arrivals for the celebration of Uganda Martyrs this year. I hope I've answered you. So please do give us the information. You have something you want to promote, we'll be happy to provide technical support and then get the words out there for everyone to know. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. There's a very high demand from you, the media, that Father Kaganda should summarize what Archbishop talked about, the integrity, the importance of maintaining the integrity of Namugongo Shrine. Father Kaganda, in 1 minute. Thank you.
Ssaabasumba ayogedde ku kusoomoozebwa okuli mu kuteekateeka Namugongo, n'atulaga nti omuwendo gw'abalamazi buli mwaka gugenda gweyongera. Ekyo nno tukyebaliza Mukama. Naye n'agamba nti omuwendo gye gukomye okweyongera, ate era n'okuteekateeka kulina okwongerwamu amaanyi. Bajeti ebeera nnene, tulina okutunuulira ebyokwerinda saako n'ebintu ebirala byonna abalamazi baffe basobole okubeera obulungi. Ssaabasumba ayogedde ku kigambo eky'okutaasa Namugongo. Kigambo kino eky'okutaasa Namugongo, Ssaabasumba abadde tategeeza ekibbattaka ekiriwo ebiro bino, wabula kyabadde ategeeza kwe kulaba nga tuteeka essira ku ebyo ebidda ku by'omwoyo, ebirala byonna bireme kubuutikira nsonga eno, wabula mu byonna ebikolebwa okulaba nga abantu ba Katonda bayambibwa okuteekateekebwa mu by'omwoyo.
Thank you so much. Let me now invite Honorable Catherine Kumuma Benjina to take us through the next item. That's giving a vote of thanks and awarding of certificates to our sponsors.
Thank you, Father Odi. Your Grace, Right Reverend Raphael P'mony Wokorach, the Archbishop-elect and Apostolic Administrator, Nebbi Catholic Diocese, Monsignor John Baptist Kauta, our Reverend Father who was interpreting, the Executive Director, Uganda Wildlife Authority, who is our own daughter, Madame Lily Ajarova. Her name is Lily Ajarova. People call Ajarova. It is not Ajarova. It is Ajarova. So that is her name. Our treasurer, can you stand up? This is our treasurer whose stomach is flat, indicating that there is no money. You can take your seat. Reverend Father Odi, Reverend Father Joseph Luger, and all of you ladies and gentlemen, today I'm the happiest because the honor of the function, who is none other than our Father, His Grace is here with us. We have been moving with my committee to do a lot of work. And Your Grace, I want to thank you very much for the committees you put in place. We followed your guidance of working together as a team, working together as a family, and also not forgetting our spiritual part. I want to thank Father Dennis Ochanda, who has been preparing us spiritually, together with Reverend Father Shandini, Camillus, who is here with us. They have been taking care of our spiritual aspect. I want to thank all the people who supported us. His Grace has already mentioned them earlier on, but maybe one or two people whom I would like to mention. I'd like to pay special tribute to His Grace, Archbishop Paul Semugerere, whom we fondly call Archbishop Paul Semo, and he was my parish priest. So I want to say how grateful we are to him, because he wrote letters to 25 Catholic parishes in Kampala Vicariate to give us financial, material, or any support. So we are very grateful to His Grace, the Archbishop of Kampala Archdiocese. Another person whom I want to thank very, very much is none other than the First Lady of Uganda, Honorable Mama Janet Kataha Museveni, who came out with a new innovation of singing competition among the Anglican and Catholic choirs. It was launched last month, I think on 10th of this month, and His Grace Archbishop Paul sent his representative to be there. The Anglican bishops were there, and I was there with them, and it was officially launched. Today, the final competition is going on, and immediately after this, His Grace will be there so that we can see how the competition is like. But the competition is not like this competition of Miss Uganda and the rest. The idea of that competition, as conceived by the First Lady, was to promote more unity between the Anglicans and the Catholics, to give honor to the Uganda Martyrs, to praise them through the religious hymns, and to give more value to family lives, and also to make us know one another better. So we want to thank Mama very, very much. We want to go and see how the competition is going to be like. And she supported the vision groups and other people to do that. So the winners will get 10 million shillings, followed by the second runner-up who will get 5 million shillings. Then the last, I think, will get 3 million. So we want to thank Mama Janet for that new innovation. I also want to thank God in a very, very special way, because as we were preparing for Namugongo Martyrs Day, through the intercession of the Uganda Martyrs, our Archbishop here, who was our Bishop for Nebbi Catholic Diocese, was announced to be the Bishop-elect for Gulu Ecclesiastical Province. It just came when we had just started preparation for Namugongo Martyrs Day. So we were all convinced that that was the intercession of the Uganda Martyrs. And may they continue to intercede for our Archbishop as he will soon take his new office. I want to thank the Uganda Catholic Secretariat, headed by Monsignor Kauta here, who also called many meetings. We had many meetings here. We had many meetings in Namugongo, and Monsignor Kauta never left us. He guided all our steps. So, Monsignor, we are very grateful. And also, I want to thank you for this arrangement of the press conference to be here at the Catholic Secretariat, which is our headquarters. Thank you very much. I want to thank all the media team who are here and those who are not here, because it was through your efforts that many people got to know about the Uganda Martyrs. Thank you for positive reporting. May you continue to promote our Uganda Martyrs and all the other functions positively. There are some media houses who want to cause alarm or who want to kill the functions by negative reporting, but I want to thank you very much. By now, many people are aware about the Namugongo, and many of you ran to cover the foot pilgrims just as they left Nebbi to come up to Kampala. So we want to thank you very much. We will continue to partner with you. We will continue to work together. I want to thank our sons and daughters, all who are here, and those in the diaspora who sent us contributions, and those who are here who worked tirelessly to contribute whatever they had. Up to now, Your Grace, some little money is still coming. Yesterday, I received 500,000 shillings from an association in Arua called DAC. It is headed by Mr. Peter Debele, who is their chairman. They sent 500,000 shillings for us. And also Centenary Bank, Yumbe, sent 150,000. The staff mobilized that 150,000, and somebody quickly brought and handed it to me. Your Grace, Mapera House is also still mobilizing something. I received a phone call from Shipo. I don't know her full name, but we know her as Shipo. Very vigilant lady. Together with the staff and management, they mobilized something for us earlier, but they are still mobilizing more. And Your Grace, also the URA are still mobilizing something more. So small make a bundle. There is no money that is small before the Lord. So I want to thank everybody for your wonderful contributions. To me, I see success around the corner because we are now counting days. And I want to thank God for energizing me. Namugongo has made me more active than before. And Your Grace, it is because you gave me the young people to work with. Now when I was with the young people, these young people, I also feel young and I work harder. So I want to thank God for that. And in fact, I'm feeling that when Namugongo is over, I will be redundant. So I hope we will find more things to do with my people. It has also given us opportunity to know each other better, to cultivate relationships with other archdioceses and other people of Uganda. And even amongst ourselves, we became like oxen or bulls who go to dig together. So we look for each other. And I told my team, nobody must hide and nobody must leave without letting us know. Especially this treasurer here. I have been harder on him than any other person. I told him never to leave the country without our knowledge. So team, I would like to thank you very much. Your team, no sleeping. You worked tirelessly. You did mobilization of resources. You contributed the little you have. So we want to thank you. And we give the glory and honor to God. So I would like to stop here because His Grace has another function after giving the certificate. I want to stop here and say how grateful I am that God has brought us this far. I invite all of you to come to Namugongo on 3rd of June so that we can celebrate and honor our holy martyrs together who have brought us pride as Ugandans. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you, Honorable. We invite you to guide us on the awarding of certificates.
Let me hand over to the treasurer, who is younger, to guide us.
Thank you, team. We have a list of 59 certificates to be issued. These certificates are broken down into super premium. If you contributed anything above 20 million, you get a super premium certificate. And in this category, we have eight beneficiaries. And then we have platinum. Platinum are those who contributed between 10 million to 19.99. And we have 4 of them. And then gold are those who contributed between 3 million to 9.999. And here we have a very good number. And then we have silver for those who contributed between 1 million to 2.999. And then the last one is a bronze, who contributed between 500 to 999.999. Below 500, we thank you by word of mouth. And, and these certificates go only for entities, corporate bodies, and communities. My Lord, amongst us, we have individuals who in their own ways mobilize within their communities, picked it up upon themselves to mobilize resources from where they work, from within their families, and we are recognizing them today. Among these people, we have corporate bodies, banks, NGOs who contributed their little to support us. The individuals who contributed, whom we are supporting here, recognizing here today, are only individuals who gave from 10 million and above. If you gave from 10 million and above, you will be given certificate as an individual. Anything below that, we thank you by word of mouth. We shall start from the highest and then keep going down. I would suggest that when I read the name, my team already are organized. They pick, when you hear your name, you walk here, you receive it, you have a handshake with this Lord Bishop, and then you take back your seat. Like I intimated earlier, our biggest entity, contributor, is Uganda Tourism Board, who is here represented by none other than the Chief Executive Director. The certificates are worth putting on the best walls. That is a super premium certificate. Super premium certificate, any contribution above 20 million, you get super premium. Uganda Revenue Authority contributed 23.7 million. Uganda Revenue Authority, representative, UNIA, URA. Okay? I think someone should help to be keeping those which are not around. Then MTN Uganda. MTN Uganda in cash, 20 million, but they have also done a number of non-cash items. For instance,